Hi. So we take a trip to Colorado twice a year. We camp with my mother-in-law all the way out to Colorado and fly back in the spring and do just the opposite in the summer. So when we come back in the summer, we've got a lot more storage. We can pick up things. But in the springtime, we're a little bit limited because we pick up stuff and we've got to figure out what we can get on the plane. First thing I'm going to show you is from last spring, some items that I left behind with her. And one of the things was this big giant Indian, I think it's Navajo rug. And I haven't measured it, but it's really, really long. I paid $4 for it. This is authentic. At the time I priced it, I'm thinking I should get about $400 for this. This is something that was specific to the area that we were in. So I definitely wanted to pick it up. It was just stopped by a little stand. People were selling a bunch of stuff in the middle of the week. So I got that. We actually took a look at a church because we love the bells. We went to look at it, try to see if we could get in. I'm big on pipe organs and church chimes and stuff like that. Couldn't get in, but we were driving around the back to go back out to the road, and I saw a lady that had was opening her garage door. It was on a Friday, so I asked her if she was having a yard sale, and she said no. So I said, well, do you have anything you want to sell? Just so happened that this was a rental, and somebody had left a whole bunch of stuff, and she was wanting to get rid of it. So I got a bunch of things. I don't have most of them with me. A lot of them were small things. I paid 25 bucks for everything. And these are some of the things I got at the sale. I got this General Electric radio. I got this General Electric clock radio. And these are probably, I'd say, from probably the 70s. And I got this General Electric clock radio. I plugged them in and they do work. I have no idea what I'm going to get for them, but I have literally a couple of dollars into each one of these. We stopped by a thrift store in Colorado, and I picked up this Bell Howe. It's a projector. And I paid $15 for it. Either 10 or 15. It's in really nice condition, and it works well. Okay, so now we're talking about this past trip. Myrna and I and a friend of ours went to a thrift store and bought a few things. I bought this PBR ball cap. It needs cleaning. It's in pretty decent shape. I got it for $5, which I probably overpaid, but it's got this faux ostrich. It's really rigid bill, and it's PBR. It's got PBR all in it, so I figured it's ball cap for ball cap collectors, for beer collectors. So we'll see what we'll do on that. Also picked this up. Probably overpaid for this. I paid $1. And it's sheet music for a clarinet, circa probably the 80s. Have no idea. I figured for $1 I took a chance. Have no idea what this goes for, but this is sheet music that they just actually put on their horn, and there's a little stand that clips onto their horn, and then they just read it. But it's America the Beautiful, Always Victorious, Sailor's Dance, The Swing March. So it's military stuff, which usually does pretty good. So we'll see. I bought some postcards. I got them all. Got all of these for 25 cents a piece. These are a set. These are all California. Looks like 60s, 70s. California does pretty well. I've got this military museum and another San Diego. And so we'll see what those do. I have no idea, but I picked those up. I also got this really cool black and white. I paid $1 for it. It's a truck and logging. So it's got a couple of different collectors that would want it. It's a real photo postcard. And I met the lady that was working at the thrift store. She actually collects these. She has a huge collection. And she said her son's not into postcards, and she was probably in her 70s. And so she said she's looking to sell the whole collection. So I'm going to contact her next time I get in town there next year in the spring, and looking to making a big purchase. She has some really nice ones. She says she has aviation, she has railroad, she has some World War II. She's just got all kinds. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're Yankee magazines from the 50s, 56 and 57. I think I paid $4 for these. And then I got 13 of these travel magazines from the 20s and 30s. I paid $10 for all of these. I don't know what I'll get for them, but we'll see. I love paper ephemera. Went to another thrift store, and I got this Craftsman clock for $2. Actually, it's a thermometer for $2. I need to clean it up, and I'll probably have to put some peroxide to get the color back. But there's no cracks, there's no breaks. It's in great shape, and it still works. And then I got 4 of these water treatment units, and I paid $7 a piece for these. Saw 3 of them go for $190. So I'm thinking I should probably get at least $150 for these. Okay, now we went to a campsite. We actually went there because there's this really cool museum that had old cars, and I mean back to Model A's, and all kinds of different sections with different collectibles and vintage stuff and antique stuff. We didn't actually go to the museum. Went to an estate sale that told us about a yard sale, a 160-mile yard sale that was going on. So this is what I picked up. I spent $150 during that whole day. Went from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, and just cleaned up. I think I figured out to be about $3,500 worth of profit. So this is some of the stuff I got. So I always look for commercial stuff, especially if they're new in the box. This is a Cascades Serve One. It's a napkin dispenser. It's brand new in the box. I paid $1 for it, and I believe that this sold for between $150 and $190. I also got this Crass Ultra One. As far as I can tell, what this is you put it on a mop bucket, and it dispenses the detergent into the mop bucket. Comes with a manual and all the attachments. I paid $1 for this. It's never been used. It needs to be cleaned up, so I'll have to sell it as used. And these sold new for almost $200. This is something that Myrna found. She's really good at picking things up. It is a 1688 Axle Flow combine. It's an operator's manual for a combine. And I paid 50 cents, I believe, for this. And I think she said that they go for, what did she say, $200? I don't remember, but it was quite a bit. It's good profit on that. Now this is the find of the week. This is actually probably the find of the year, maybe the find of a career. I always look in new boxes when I see electronics, especially that haven't been used. You can see the tinning is still on it. This is a net irrigation. It's some kind of control or transformer for a irrigation system. I paid $40 for this. I asked the lady at the cash register if she would take less, and she said it wasn't her, she was going to call him. But I said, don't worry about it, because I knew what he was going to say. He's going to say, these things go for $1,095. So 40 bucks is fine. I said 40 bucks is fine. So I paid 40 bucks for it. I'll flip it for 1,000 bucks. This is a really, really good find. So good bolo, always look, even if you don't know what it is, look it up, especially if it's in a box and it's new in good shape, because components, especially for large things, gates, machinery, farm equipment, anything like that, just goes for great, great money. Picked up Panasonic phone, Scott. I actually bought this from my mom because she was having problems with her home phone. She doesn't want it, so we'll sell it. It's a Panasonic KX-TG263. It's Bluetooth. Comes with 3 phones and the workstation. Not sure what I'll get for this, but I think we paid $2 for it. I don't usually pick up glass. I don't even look at most glass, but there is some glass that still sells. So it's being able to recognize it. This is a Fosteria pitcher, green, still highly collectible. It came with 6 glasses. I paid $15 for it, and this will sell for between $175 and $200. I couldn't find comps on the pitcher and the glass. I have seen them before as a set. The glasses sell for over $100, and with the pitcher, I should be able to get close to 200 bucks for it. And then made another contact. She has, I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Hallmark ornaments that are in the box that she collects, and she's ready to sell them off. I didn't have the room for them, so I didn't even bother talking to her, but I gave her my card, and I will be, next time we're there, and we will be going back there for that yard sale. I'll talk to her about getting that collection, if not sooner. But she also had these. She has a set. They're Ford truck headlights, never been installed, really dusty from storage. You find these all the time. People buy parts, then they sell the vehicle, or they decide not to fix the vehicle, or they wreck the vehicle or something, so they have these laying around, and you can usually get them for good prices. She asked me to just give an offer on them. I paid $10 for both of them. I saw one very similar to this, just one headlight, that went for $195. Oh, I forgot, at the thrift store in Colorado, I saw this mirror. Now this is one that supported missions, so they didn't bargain with the prices. The prices on it is what you paid. This was $40. Probably would have passed it up, but again, it's new in the box, so I looked it up. This is a trucker's mirror, and this sells for over $300. I paid $40 for it. Picked up, this is for my own benefit. It's the artist signed postcard price guide. I wouldn't go with the prices in it because the prices are not going to be current. Oh, look, it's actually a newspaper clipping. But what this will, there's a lot of postcards that are signed by artists that are very valuable if you know what to look for. There's a lot of them that aren't. So this is going to help me be able to identify the artists that are. Let's see, what else do we have here? Well, encyclopedias. Again, sometimes most of the time they're not worth much, even the whole set, but there are some that are still worth really good money. This is the Thorndike Barnhart. I got the whole encyclopedia set, plus it has dictionaries, both dictionaries, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra books. Some of them are medical, some of the other things. I saw a set of just the encyclopedias that sold, if I remember correctly, it was about $180. I paid $20 for that whole set. So I'll make some really good money. I'm thinking probably maybe $300 for it, $250, $300. We'll see. I picked this guy up for $4. Not exactly sure what it is. It's a Jeep and a I think it's a bridge, I believe. Don't know if it's G.I. Joe, don't know who it is. Leave in the comments if you recognize that. But I'll have to look it up. I haven't even taken it out of the bag. For $4, we'll see. It's definitely vintage, 80s probably. So we'll see. Took a chance on it. I bought this VTech. It's a V-Smile. And I saw these all over the place. I saw the components selling. I saw a couple of sets, but not as complete as this, that were selling over $100. I paid $5 for this whole thing. I got the unit with the microphone. These sell for $30 a piece. I got 3 controllers. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games to go with it. $5. Okay, the estate sale, the yard sale that I bought those headlamps. I got a Insignia. It's an under cabinet stereo system for your kitchen. I paid $5 for this. I don't remember what the comps were. I think they're probably like $60, $70. But it comes with a manual. It was never installed. All the bolts and everything are there. I took a chance on this one too. These are, let me get them out of here. These are rear view light mirrors for a Ford truck. I don't know which one. Rear view mirrors are all over the place, vintage. This is, I believe, from the 70s, 60s or 70s. The lady wanted $35 for them. Finally got her down to $20. I saw one of these mirrors that sold for $75, 75 or 80. So I took a chance on it, went ahead and paid the $20 for it. There is a model number. I'll have to look that up and see if I can find out, but it's not scratched. The chrome is in great shape. There's no corrosion. There's no scratches on the glass. So why not? I've done good with vintage car parts in the past because people are putting those, that's big trucks now for rebuilding old trucks. And there's a lot of aftermarket parts that they can get, but if they can get the original, a lot of times they'll pop for it for bragging rights. Okay, so the last one, and unfortunately, oh wait, is that it? Yeah. So the last yard sale we went to, we were driving, it was 7 or 8 o'clock, and there was a sign that said there was 3 more sales that were going to be open. It was 7 o'clock. They were going to be open till 8. And it said, it's worth a drive. And we drove for a while to find it. 2 of them were already shut down by the time we got there. We went down this dirt road, it seemed like for a mile or 2. And in the middle of nowhere was this big building. And this guy it was a picker's heaven. They had vintage games, vintage electronics, vintage marbles, antique marbles, signage, all kinds of stuff. Some of it was neatly put up, but some of it was just piled on shelves, so I got to dig through. Really cool guy. He doesn't do the internet. He sells to people locally. I actually had to get his the GPS coordinates so that I could find him again, and I will be looking him up again. I ran out of money. I didn't have enough cash to really buy everything that I wanted to, and unfortunately, I had already filled a 32 gig SD card on my GoPro, so I couldn't. All the video that I took didn't take. Next time I will bring an extra one to make sure to show you guys. But this place is amazing. They had signage. It was just unbelievable. But I did pick up a couple of things. I picked up 17 Rigid Tool pinup calendars. And they're from the 80s. I think there might have been a couple from the 70s. I have to go through them. I looked, and these were selling for about $20 a piece. I wound up paying $15 for all of them. I had $40 on me. And this is what I spent on the rest of it. It's a Bell Systems toolbox. Now these cases go for about 40 bucks. So the case itself wasn't worth it. But this sucker is full of tools, parts. These winders right here go for about 70 bucks. I know, because I had to buy one. It's got fuses, all kinds of vintage tools. Whoop, just lost my tweezers. It's got some bags, some other stuff in there. I am thinking complete that this should go for about $400. I'm hoping. Keep your fingers crossed. So next we were driving to our next campsite. It was on a Monday, and we passed a place that said yard sale. Go figure. So we turned around and stopped. Actually, it was in the country, and we had the camper and the truck, so it was quite an ordeal to turn around and find a place to park. Had to walk down to this place. They had a lot of stuff that they left out in the rain from the weekend, but they were bound and determined to sell everything before they brought it in. So I just picked out a few things. I paid $3 for this, M&M's figures. I haven't priced them yet. I know in the past that there is some figures that go for a couple $100 in much better condition. There's no breaks, doesn't look like there's any scratches, just needs to be cleaned up. The arms move. For $3, we'll see what we get for this, but I'm hoping I'll get at least $30 to $50 for it. I bought a couple of bags, paid $2 for both bags, and they're different toys. These are Disney's. We got Donald Ducks. They got Blues News. Got the Donald Duck Brats. Got some Mickey Mouse. Got some McDonald's stuff. I recognize that dog right there, but I'm not sure where from. Oh, it's got a Mario's Brothers. And then this one is actually a set. I think it's Roger Rabbit. Nope. It's got Roger Rabbit. It's got Mickey Mouse. It's a train. It's got the baboon from, I think that was the Jungle Book. It's got the Lion King. So it's like a train with all these pieces. Have absolutely no idea what I'm gonna get for them, but $1 a piece, what the heck. I always look at these toys when you find a bunch of them together. If you can recognize even for pieces of some toys, they sell really, really well. And if you can pay just pennies for them, it's worth getting them. You can lot them up if you don't make any money. But if you're only paying $1 for it, you can donate or throw away or gift whatever you don't sell. And then finally, I bought this box of music boxes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. This one is rusted. It's really old looking though. And she had $1 each. I paid $15 for all of them. And I'll just sell them for components. They do have names on them. She's got the songs written on them. People do replace music boxes for old music boxes. Vintage stuff that they have that have great memories. They would rather replace the music box than discard the whole thing. And I don't remember what they go for, but I should make pretty good money on this. I'll update you on that. This guy had a really cool historic house though that he was storing his stuff in. This was in, were we in Nevada or Kentucky? Missouri. We were in Missouri. And there was this really cool house. It was really, really old. The story goes that the only black slave in the area When the slaves were freed, her former masters, of course she took their name, they built her this house across the street from them, and she continued to work for them. They paid her good wages, but this house was not the shack that you would expect looking through history. This was a big, huge house. It actually had a smokehouse. It had 3 or 4 rooms, had an upstairs. They just went all out. It was beautiful. They did a really good job. So that was a little piece of history. That was very cool to go rummaging through there. And we'll probably stop by there again and see if we can do some junking. Almost forgot, at the estate sales, I bought 2 of these. They are Jack Black. Don't look like much. Paid $5 a piece for them. They're signed. And these, I've seen these sold for as much as $225 a piece. And then for $1, I picked up Snoopy. He's cute. He's got a little label, probably says made in China. Have absolutely no idea. Oh, he is official Schultz. And he's porcelain. So it's $1. We'll see.